So, with a heavy sigh, Saskia thanked their new friend, looked at Taina. Taina said, "Don't worry, I'll wait right here for you." So, she readied herself, got herself to the cave, and then got ready to make her way on what was to be potentially a scary run for her, but could finally give her the answer she's been looking for. All the way down. So she did her best to dodge all the creatures, tried not to panic, but didn't realise something as she was running through this cave, a strange feeling. But because she was so busy trying to run away, she couldn't yet figure out what this feeling was. Having making it onto a plateau with a lot of books and a strange looking table that, although was strange, looked mighty familiar to her. She glanced back where she'd come, noticed that the creatures had left, and felt safe for a moment or two. So, as her new friend had suggested, with trepidation she approached the table. She saw a book on it, and she collected it. Then the most strangest sensation washed over her, and she had visions of all sorts of unknown things, but felt an overwhelming sensation of power. Now she just had to learn to either embrace the good or the evil, because she still did not yet know who she was. She felt that power again. She recognised it just that she owned before, but doesn't quite know here who she is or why she is. So, having collected her items, she turned around, made her way back down the rickety stairs, and made the run back to her companions outside until she made it out of the cave, took a look to her right, and her friends were still there waiting. And having arrived at her friends, took the biggest sigh of relief that she'd taken in a long time. Then her friend, the sorcerer, said to her, "How do you feel?" And with that, she passed out. The two new friends looked at her and just said, "Oh dear, she's got a lot to learn. So much to test, but so much to learn."
The twin serpents whisper, and a stranger approaches. Call me priestess, call me sultana, call me exalted by the flesh and souls of my people. I am the high priestess to the mysteries of Derketo. I perform the sacred obscenities. The haughty priests of Mitra and Set frown down upon my wanton rites. Holy concubine, they call me when I am listening, and cultish whore when they think I am not. Yet one by one, these clerics offer themselves to me willingly. I kiss the jelly right out of their skull sockets, and they scream, and they beg me to do it again. And they see the universe and their gods as they truly are, and they weep black blood when they realize they have but 2 eyes to give me. Through her, I have freed the minds of my people. Through her, I have made the living beg, the dead moan, and given some skulls more reason than others to grin. Do you seek the mysteries of Derketo? Do you dare the transcendent ecstasies? Would you awaken the sleeping deity, swaddled in the cradle of your flesh? The twin serpents live inside all of us. The coiled splendor. The uninitiated merely spill these energies through their pelvis. But I can teach you the ways to coax the twin serpents up your spine, up the cosmic ladder, into my mind and hands. With the twin serpents, lust and death, so mastered, you can perform the miracles of Derketo.
Saskia, wake up. Please wake up. Oh, come on. Why has she been asleep for so long? Come on, wake up. Huh? Huh? What? What's happening? What's wrong? What's happening? So strange. Why? Where am I going? What? Huh? Is this a dream or is this real? I don't know. Well, is that Tana? Is that her? I don't know. Ah, good, you're awake. How do you feel? Strange, I guess? Why? You've been asleep for a long time. Do you not feel different? Do you not notice what you're wearing? Well, yeah, it's same as you, and last thing I remember was going into a cave and then coming back out to you and our other friend and passing out. That's all I remember. Really, that's all you remember? Do you not remember all the other things you've done since? All the people you've sacrificed to give you that power? What do you mean, people I've sacrificed? You see the bench in front of us? You see the altar? That's what I mean. You're beginning to fully embrace your power. Power? What power? I don't know what you mean. But then I do know what you mean. It's strange. But what do I use this power for? Well, Saskia, that's entirely up to you. Whether you use it for evil, or whether you use it to get answers. Either way, it'll help you on your journey. But before you go, there is a little drink in the fridge for you that I think will help you a little more. That is, if you're prepared to use it. Because it may not taste very good, but trust me, it will help. Okay, I guess. I guess I'll try it and then go get some answers. Yeah. Thank you. I guess. With that, she turned away from the table, walked back towards the house, still trying to accept what she was now wearing that made her feel different. It made her feel herself, of who she was, but still not in the way that she believed that she was. Something felt different this time. But what was it? She doesn't know. One thing she did know was that this drink was going to obviously do something special. But she felt she had to do this in secrecy. So she took it from the fridge, took the drink, and then we'll see what happens. Then, as usual, from the drink, of course she passed out. But her sorcerer friend was able to wake her up, and they set off on their journey to go find some answers. Well, at least they hope so. Then, a bit further down the river, they came across this lake with some regular crocodiles, but then they spotted a rather large looking one on the other side. They thought maybe this is a good place to start. So they made their way, clearing out the regular ones to make their way around to the boss, but this felt like at this point they still weren't getting anywhere just yet. But Saskia started to feel good. She felt different from the drink. She felt a rush of energy that she'd never felt before. Even her complexion appeared differently. She started to feel that power, the power of a sorcerer. But this felt different. It didn't feel like the power she'd always known. But she still couldn't quite get her head around yet of whether this particular power was the evil version for doing dark things, or whether this was the power that she possessed when she was the one true sorceress. Only time would tell. So, their first real test approached. There it was. Huge crocodile. She sent her friend in first because she was a little bit unsure. And she thought, wait a minute, if I get you to fight, she could attack it with some bleed. And they set to work on the enemy. Saskia was surprised just how well her friend Taina could hold herself. And with that, they took down their foe. Nice and easy. Then she stood for a moment, looked at her friend, and still couldn't quite believe what had just happened. Was this real? Who knows? So, they chopped up their enemy, and found that they collected a key from it, and having done this, they then moved on to a place that Taina knew of, that she said was a bit dark and dreary, but it's a place that may give her the answers, or at least help her to start getting the answers to what she's looking for who she is, and where here is. So we'll rejoin them there. So after a long journey, they arrived at their place. Taina looked around and looked at Saskia and said, yes, this is the place. This feels right. But we need to climb in over this wall. And we need to sacrifice someone to open the door. You think you can do that? Yeah, I think so, said Saskia. Let's give it a go. So they made their way up and over the wall. And in carefully over the other side and inside to an altar that they could see that was showing them maybe we need to sacrifice somebody here. Her friend took a bit of beating off somebody, but then quite easily traded his life. Then the door began to open. She took out the final enemy, and with that, they made their way down the dark staircase into the unknown. Once inside, Tana took a look around with her friend and said to Saskia, yes, this is the place. Strangely, Saskia recognised it. She wasn't put off by the smell or the damp feel that this place had. It was almost like she'd been here before. And with that, she made her way down the stairs, cautiously, listening to the voices that she could hear. Then there were some more creatures that they took out that were obviously going to stand in their way. So they chose to take them out, and they knew that this was going to have to be, or could be, the place where she would start to get answers. Then a strange, mysterious, ghostly voice started to speak to them. What was this voice? Saskia could feel it pulling them towards it. Although she couldn't comprehend or make out what this voice was, she knew it was clearly telling them something. So they began to make the journey through these sewers, or whatever this place was, fighting many enemies along the way. So they made their way through this place, closer and closer to this voice, or whatever it was that was calling them. So we'll catch up with them a little bit later down the line. A little way through their journey, they spotted a ramp with what looked like what can only be described as a giant spider sitting in a pool of acid. But Tena recommended to Saskia that she doesn't fight it in there, even though she's a sorceress. She should pull it up to where they are and fight it on their grounds. So Saskia shot it with an arrow, up it came, and they began to fight this huge spider, because maybe this could give them some answers. They'd already fought a big boss out in the open world, so surely this would not be a problem for them. And just like that, they slayed yet another enemy. Saskia took a look at its inventory. Couldn't really find too much too interesting. Maybe a fragment could come useful in time, and a special cleaver of some sort. Hey, might be good for getting more food, who knows. But nothing else. So then, they continued their journey just as before. So after some time they made it to what looked like the final place. The voice that had been calling them sounded much stronger. So they made their way through a tunnel. Then they heard it. The beast within. What was it? Who knows? Maybe they need to take it down again to get the answers. So they make their way up. Deal with some of his friends that he had laying around as well. Somehow Saskia knows that there is one at either side and decides to go the other way and take the other one out as well before they encounter this boss or whatever he is, who continues to scream and moan at them. And there we go. So then they cautiously make their way up the stairs and There it is. The horrible, most worst monstrosity she's ever seen. Could this really be the first creature that will give me answers I'm looking for? Thought Saskia? Well, there's only one way to find out. So, I began to start on this boss, using whatever they could against it to do it some damage, and hopefully take it down. Again, it appeared up out of its pit of acid. Saskia went in again to work with Taina to try and take this beast down. Gradually to rinse, repeat. And eventually, hopefully get what they came here. Something that would help to start giving her the answers to what she needs. Just like that, the creature was dead. Well done, Saskia. So she entered the pit that was now drained of acid, took a look around at what she could see. Took out some loot that she could find, and then proceeded to chop up the creature that they had just slain. Having they finally made their way out of that damp and disgusting place, feeling tired and weary, but also full of life at the same time, a life that she still couldn't yet explain. But she was on a journey, whether it was the journey that was going to give her her answers to get her out of this place, or whether it was a journey designed to keep her here, she still does not know. Is Taina really a friend? Is she really trying to help her escape? Or is her plan all along to keep her in this place with dark sorcery for evil reasons? Who knows? Maybe the item of the staff of the triumvirate that they've just recovered, that now tells them to go to another place to turn this into the awakened staff. Maybe this place will give the answers. Taina looks at Saskia and says, I know where this place is. If you're not too tired, we should head there now. Then you can start to get some real answers. Saskia breathed heavily and took a deep breath in, and then breathed out slowly. And with a stretch, said, okay, let's go. Where is this place? Follow me, said Taina. It's not too far. A short journey, slaying many creatures and people along the way, they arrived at their location. Taina told her they'll have to fight their way through a small camp of humans, well, cannibals. To Saskia this was now not a problem. They were just enemies. They weren't people, they weren't flesh, they were enemies. But then she'd be able to engage her inner sorceress and cast her first spell. Saskia felt she was ready. So with that, they readied their weapons and made their way up the hill
Man flesh
to the camp. And began to take on the camp. And with some ferocious power between them, they began to slay the entire camp. Noticing prisoner cages, just like Saskia had seen before, These were just like the people she'd seen before. Just targets. Easy practice. So they made their way up the staircase to the edge of a bridge. They could see where they needed to get to, but the bridge was broken. Only one thing for it. It was time for the sorceress to start using her power. With that, she cast a bridge of ice that built its way from where they were up to the location where they were heading, just as if a stone bridge was there for them. Saskia looked back at the bridge and was amazed just how perfectly she'd done it. It was as if she'd done it before. That memory started to trigger something with her, but she still didn't quite know who she was. She knew she felt power again, but was it her power? Or was this something from the dream that she had had? Was this corrupted power? Only time would tell. So they made their way up the stairs to defeat only what looked like a giant bat that was required to allow them to use the altar ahead of them. Cautiously, they made their way to the Tower of the Bats. There it was, waiting for them. Taina said, "Don't worry, I got this." Saskia watched in amazement as her friend just absolutely destroyed the bat. So, with that, they took out a tool, hacked it up and got its blood. Ready to use the altar, having taken refuge through a sandstorm and spent some time to study the altar, Saskia placed the blood in the altar along with the staff just as instructed, then waited. Something started to happen with the altar. Something began crafting. What was this? Who knows? Then a huge voltage of power began to surge out from the altar. What was this new thing? Thought Saskia. So, she claimed it back from the altar. They made their way back down the stairs. Maybe this was how she starts to learn where here is. But they decided, let's get back where we came from first. Let's get back to somewhere safe, because they didn't like it up here. Let's get back somewhere where we can relax. So with that, they took a look at the place where they came from, pulled out her staff once again, cast the bridge, and then made their way back down to the ground and to safety. Having found a relatively safe place of safety, Saskia noticed she could talk to this strange staff. What did it have to say?
Yes, yes! I live again! Oh, may the earth tremble at my coming! And all of that. Oh, hello! Well, I have you to thank for awakening me, yes?
Maybe.
Oh, you've done a very great thing. My former masters were upset with my advice. I was thrown into that sewer in a fit of pique. Apparently, my endless wisdom was only at a premium when they were winning the war. Pardon me. I've been trapped in a vat of slug feces for a few thousand years. It makes the throat a little raw. As if I have a throat.
Yeah.
Now, on to the terms of our agreement. Now, I promise to serve you, providing wisdom and knowledge until the day I'm returned to the one who summoned me. And in return, you promise not to throw me into any sewers.
No promises.
So good? Excellent. Now, let's find out exactly where and when we are. I can see you're wearing a slave bracelet, which means we can't be that far from the capital, or you'd be a pile of exploded guts. So logically, we must find the map room. Now, I need to get the lay of the land. Oh, look at this place. I haven't seen such a mess since the fall of Fallujah. And look, the archivist. Oh, sorry-looking shade that he is. He can probably tell us something about the current situation. Besides, he used to be thick as thieves with my old master. Together, they created that bracelet you're wearing. He might be able to tell you how to get rid of it. Just
Really?
don't believe anything he says about me. Oh, look at this place.
Okay
I've
then.
seen such a...
So with that, she picked up the staff, took a look at Taina, and said, "We gotta go find the city. We gotta go find the archivist. Sounds like he has the answers. You up for that?" Taina looked at her with a stern but comforting look and gave her a little smile. A smile that just reminded her that you're not on your own in this journey. Let's go. So with that, they worked out where they were and made their way to where they believe the archives were. And we'll catch up with them when they get there. And after a nightmarish journey, slaying more creatures again, and animals, and then even undead skeletons as they came into this city, which they call the capital, which Saskia thought would have people in it. Turns out they're not, they're undead. But this time she didn't fear them. She was not afraid of them because of this power she now possessed. Somehow it stopped her fearing them. Even the purple clouds of corruption didn't faze her, didn't hurt her. In fact, she embraced it. So with her friend, they made their way into the archives within the city. Hopefully now, this thing that the staff spoke of, maybe he...
Oh, look at this place. I haven't seen such a mess since the fall of Fallujah. And look, the archivist. Oh, sorry-looking shade that he is. He can probably tell us something about the current situation.
Yeah.
Besides, he used to be thick as thieves with my old master. Together, they created that bracelet you're wearing.
Yeah, you
He
said
might be able
dude.
to tell you how to get rid of it.
Maybe.
Don't believe anything he says about me.
Okay. So it's a ghost I've got to talk to. Really?
Do not be afraid, bonded one. I am just a shadow, a whisper of what once was. Before the fall, when this kingdom raised knighted pillars of black stone to the sky, I was called the Archivist.
Oh good, well you might be able to give me some answers then. Where is this place?
Have you come to seek a way free of the bonding bracelet, human?
Yes.
There is only one chance, and a very slim one at that.
Well, I'll take
You
it.
must assemble the items of power that were present at its creation. The diadem of the Giant Kings, the mask of the Witch Queen, the tears of two races, the star of the champion, the heart of the sands, the shining trapezohedron, and the serpent ring of Set. I fear I set you an impossible quest, human.
Maybe. Maybe you have.
The diadem of the Giant Kings was once worn upon the brow of the Priest King. He fell in battle with Tyros, the Deathbringer, in the battlefields of the north. More than that, I cannot say. The Priest King was the most passionate and most volatile among us. I fear his downfall will not have been a simple matter.
Okay.
Bring me back knowledge.
Well, maybe back, dude. I don't know. So with that, the two girls decided to stop for a moment and think of all the things that the archivist had just told them. Having listened to all the explanations that the archivist had given them for these different artifacts, as he called them, the two sorcerers tried to work out between them what they were going to do, and they figured this was going to be a longer journey than expected. This wasn't going to be a quick escape. This was going to take some time. But they reckon that for now, that's enough, and they should head home and rest before they head on to the next part of their journey. So they finished up their conversation and made their way home. And once back home, her new friend Taina looked at her and said, "Saskia, you've done so much. You've learnt so much already, but you've still so much to learn. Go rest. A tired sorcerer makes many mistakes. Like he said, you've only got one slim chance of escaping. We need to do this right. We need to do this properly. If you're ever going to get out of here. But for now, go rest. I'll be here when you need me." And with that, Saskia went back to her pondering tree, as she called it. The tree where all this journey began. We moved her head where and realised that she looked a little different. Scarily different even. Was this all to do with the dream she had? And again, was it a dream? Or was it a vision? Who knows? Only Saskia can find out herself. Oh Saskia, if only you knew. If only you knew.